Yes, first you.
How does it feel like to be reincarnated? How does it feel like to be reincarnated?
Kasa. Reincarnated. Nothing. The name of Dalai Lama or reincarnated is just people create, people's creation. Myself, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a human being. And I may say I'm quite a normal human being.
Your Holiness, I've been contemplating the concept of emptiness, and I was hoping if you could please share some insight to how we can relate to emptiness in a modern context.
That's the key thing as far as Buddhism is concerned, and particularly Nalanda tradition. In Nalanda tradition, the Longsu Posa, the Chinese language, Longsu Posa, and Nagarjuna, he also thoroughly explained about Buddha's teaching of emptiness. So now emptiness, not nothingness, but like quantum physics, you see, quantum physics say not nothingness, but things does not exist as appears. Appearance is something exists there. But if we investigate nothing, so things does not exist as appears. There is a big gap, appearances and reality. Now, the emptiness telling what's the ultimate reality, and nothing. If we, because of the physical, because of the parts,
Dissect. If we take something and dissect it,
nothing. And the quantum physics not yet reach about mind. That's they call observer. Now, in Buddhist tradition, they also investigate what's mind. Mind, not physical, but
the mind is posited in terms of continuity of streams.
So, mind, so-called mind, is the something jit chajen mind. The chaje demon.
Yes. So when we talk about mind, it's not just a single entity; it's a continuation of moments. So we can talk about a whole mind, which is made up of these moments. So
when we talk continuation, they automatically involve past, present, future. Then present is the basis of past and future. Now present, if we further go, present century, present decade, present year, present month, present week and day and hour and minute, second. No present. Second, 1 second past, 1 second future. Where is present? No present. Then without present, very difficult to say past and future. So that's just on the roughly appearances we say continuation of mind. But if you go detail, nothing. So now the Madhyamika philosophy, Nagarjuna says, if we investigate, if we analyze, nothing independently exists, but just a mere designation. That, you see, concept to Buddhist try to, try to defeat our emotion which believe things are independently exist there. That basis of exaggeration. One of my American psychologist, great psychologist, his age now, when my last meeting, few years ago, his age already 110 or something.
Aaron Beck.
Aaron Beck. You see, he, few decades, you see, he deal with people whose mind too much disturbed by anger. So he told me, those angry people, when they feel anger, the object which they feel angry appears something very negative. But reality, 90% of that negativeness is mental projection. This is exactly now Madhya philosophy would say. So now antidote is to analyze things does not exist as appears. Ultimately, your own because of the designation. So the anger, attachment come, things appears something absolute, and good and bad also absolute. Recently, I heard one Chinese student who study quantum physics. He, you see, express when he think about nothing exists objectively. That affect his sort of the extreme view, good or bad. That's exactly, you see, the purpose of Nalanda, this Madhyamika philosophy. I also practice that daily. So, very, very helpful. One part of practice is altruism. One part of practice is nothing exists as appears. So Nagarjuna explained interdependent, interconnected. Nothing exists independently. Everything depends on other factor. So that also, you see, the approach, more realistic approach, things. It exists, but exists due to many other factors, including your own mind. So then our anger, attachment, these happen. Its very nature is entirely, is also believe things exist there independently. Then attachment, anger comes. For example, usually we develop anger towards our enemy, so-called enemy. But then you're angry towards the enemy's physical or enemy's mind. Then the anger feels confused, isn't it? Oh, like that. And similarly, when we feel I, where is I? Not just physical. I can say my physical, my mind. So still there is I. Where is I? I here? No. Here? No. Difficult. I is there. But if you investigate, we cannot find. So finally, combination of physical and mind is just merely designated as I, self. But Indian tradition, Atma, then there is independent I is there. And the journalism, Western culture, soul, also more or less independent self. The Buddhist anatma theory, no atma. But when I explain about rebirth, I found very useful the concept of atma, recently, I think 2 years ago, in South India, I have sort of, what's the useful discussion with one Indian Hindu sadhu, good scholar, and very good. He's serving people, particularly student. Wonderful. So he invited me. I went there, and then I told him, practice of kasa,
Shila, morality.
no, practice of morality, and practice of single-pointed mind, and practice of the analytical meditation. Generally, same. Hindu, Buddhist, same. So we are truly spiritual brothers. And then differences. The Hindu believe soul. Buddhist no believe soul. So that our private business. You believe soul. I do not believe soul. So that's our private business. So similarly, believe creator, God or not, private business. We both human beings, we should pay more attention about love, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, self-discipline. Next question.
Your Holiness, thank you very much for your powerful words today and funky glasses. I like them. I like your glasses.
벌써? 글쎄, I see. then without glass.
It's even more so.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you about compassion. You spoke of all of us having a compassionate soul. But many times it feels like there are acts of lack of compassion, and that compassion is blocked between many individuals, countries, situations. How do we unblock compassion?
Now that's a very important question. As I mentioned earlier, basic human nature, more compassionate. Like these young children, they don't care about, say, different religious tradition or different nationality. So long, play together. One time, I visited Switzerland, Pestalozzi. Some Palestinian children, Jewish children, play together. Nothing. So at a young age, like that, they don't care. What is the differences? Gradually, when we join our education, our school, then you see, not much talking about our inner, deeper human value. Simply, you see, talking about money, about materialistic life. Now, that's, I feel, existing modern education system is not complete. It's very much oriented about material value. So now, modern education, as I briefly mentioned, should include about education inner value, so that children at a young age are basic human value very much alive. They need that. Now, once join education, the further sort of explanation, the warm-heartedness is very important for your health, for your happy family, for your happy community. These should teach, should include. And then furthermore, the Indian psychology, as I mentioned earlier. You see, there in the West, when we say consciousness, they only sensorial level. Not much talking about chit or mind. So training of mind is chit, not eye consciousness, ear consciousness. The five senses of consciousness because of the active, the mental consciousness there. Then in dream time, sensorial consciousness no longer, mental consciousness there. Then deep sleep without dream, even further deeper consciousness. So sometimes it can possible in dream time, thinking some spiritual practice is more effective because the sensorial consciousness no longer active. Like that. So I think it is important to make distinction, different level of consciousness. And real, the trouble, anger, attachment, jealousy, these come because of the mainstream of consciousness, not sensorial. Like that. I think two persons, one person seeing someone very dear, and one person see that very negative. But eye consciousness same. Mentally, one is considered negative, one considered positive. So training of mind is mental level, not consciousness. So it is very important to make distinction, different level of consciousness, mind. Since these troublemaker, anger, hatred, these related with main consciousness. So method also must develop in main consciousness, not sensorial. Okay. Next.
We'll do one more. Anyone in the back?
Hi, Your Holiness. So I have a question. As you mentioned, we are all the same, and I believe that a question that we've been struggling all our lives is a sense of self-identity, even though we say that we are brothers and sisters. But as you mentioned earlier on as well, we see things differently. We have different filters. So how do we recognize and fine-tune?
They should. 더 고스톱도 안 맞아. 가, 是吧？是吧？
Yeah. So how do we recognize and fine-tune the filter that we've been using to reflect a true self or identity? Because there's been so many labels that we face since growing up. So how do we find that true voice?
그래서 as I mentioned earlier, see, we are social animal. Each individual's future or happiness depend on community. Now today's reality is Eastern world, their future depend on West. Western world's future depend East. Similarly, South, North, like that. So, and then I think we too much emphasis different nationality, different races. And India, I think caste system is really outdated. So in any way, you see too much emphasis, differences. It's a source of problem. No gain. Think about oneness of human being, oneness of whole world. That is the realistic. And as I mentioned earlier, the European Union, the thinking, oneness of European. They are not sort of emphasis, French, Germany. One of my friend, the von Weizsäcker, great scientist, physicist, physicist, quantum physicist. He told me when he was young, he said, every German eye, French is their enemy. Similarly, French eye, German is their enemy. When we sort of, then you see, 1990s, he told me, nowadays, that kind of sort of perception no longer. German, French, just our neighbor. So like that, too much emphasis with German, French, killing. What benefit? It's a oneness of European, much benefit. So further extent, oneness of human being. It is possible. It is very good. Now today's reality, we really need the sense of oneness of human being. Since a lot of problem, including killing, is on the basis of differences, different nationality, different religion, cause problem. So the only remedy is go deeper way, we are same human being. So that's the only way. If we think deeper level, we are same human being, they want happiness, I want happiness, my future depends on them, then killing is no longer relevant. It's much better, live together. So I think those American companies which produce weapons, I think eventually should close.
Last question is,
Yes.
when can we come back?
What's up?
Yeah.
Go on.
Gene, you're going to say thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. Next week?
Oh.
My wife would like to say thank you.
Okay.
Your Holiness, thank you so much. We are so grateful. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "Seek and you shall find." And we have come, we are seekers, and we have come and sought your wisdom. And hopefully with your wisdom, we will want to plant seeds so that we will grow good fruits of peace and love. So thank you for being part of
Thank
our
you.
journey and our life journey. Thank you.
Thank you. I very much encouraged. You see people from different country, different culture, different language, but come here as a human being and thinking more deeper level of our value. That's hopeful sign, hopeful sign. So now sometimes I feel my age, now 84, so not many years now. Perhaps another 10 years, then 94. Then too old. But it seems my mind still, I think, okay. The 94-year-old wheelchair mind, quite clear. And then I can talk. So, but anyway, in any way, you see, now my life now ending. So, so long, so I alive, and according to my own experience, some of these thoughts, you see more and more people showing interest and implement and further think. That's the purpose of my life. My daily prayer, my physical, my speech, my mind, dedicated well-being of other. And furthermore, I'm monk, no family, so quite good. Otherwise, you see, my children, grandchildren, their marriage, a lot of problems. So some occasion, I told some Western who become Buddhist monk, I told them, you see, when you feel a little bit lonely, you should look those family who lot of problem. And I have, you see, some my friend, when my first visit to America, one wife and few children. Then after a few years, another visit, another wife. Then another occasion, third wife. That also is a source of a problem, isn't it? And especially those children. So I told these people, this is sort of source of our encouragement, simple Buddhist monk. Thank you.